My name is Joey Balistreri. Welcome to my work table. Look at this deliciousness. Is that not the most beautiful bowl you've ever seen? These are my colors. I love pinks and raspberries and golds. And I am working, what you see here is I'm working with the Deluxe Czech bundle from Didi Beads. It is an amazing, it's not curated, it's a sampler of Czech beads, and it is amazing. There are always really cool shapes in it. Stella, the founder and curator of these bundles, is amazing at finding unique shapes and things, colors, colorways in shapes we might be familiar with. She sends me things that I've never seen before, and that's saying something because I have seen some beads. So this will be my fourth project with this bundle, and I still have a ton left over. I made this bracelet for a little pop of red for the trend going into fall and winter. I also made a coordinating set of earrings with no ear wires. They'll go on my interchangeable earrings. And then I absolutely love the necklace that I made. These were in that bundle, and they are just the coolest cylindrical style bead. They have that, the striations are all different in every bead, so the stripiness is a little bit different. And I made my own beaded chain to go on the back of this necklace, and it has a little magnetic clasp, and I have just been wearing this like crazy. So in this video I did all three of these pieces. I can link that video below. I show how to do a really simple DIY figure 8 link and these little links, and just make your own chain. And I just love this necklace. I have been wearing this ever since I made it. But today I am working with these beads here. These were in the bundle. These are the most stunning flower embossed Czech glass brick beads. Look at the dimension and profile, and they have 2 holes in them, which I love. There were 2 of them in the bundle. And then also were these 2 hole beads that are like a little barrel, and they are gold washed, and they are just so cool. It's a really pretty neutral, lovely contrast color. So I'm going to alternate the flower embossing on these beads. So one where the sunflower is up, one where it's down, and string these little guys in between. That is my plan, and I'm going to make this the focal, or almost like a bracelet bar, but this is going to be a simple stringing project. So I've got 2 bracelet length strands of the pink tourmaline color of the Softflex 49 strand bead stringing wire. And Stella, I don't know if these are still available as of this filming, but she had like a closeout on a seed bead bundle, and I got one of those. And I got these gorgeous Duracoat galvanized champagne 11-0 seed beads in my bundle, and I absolutely love this. I reach for these all the time as spacers, and if you're not familiar with this information, a Miyuki seed bead is a Japanese seed bead, and they're quite uniform. So they're really pretty in almost anything you do, whether you're weaving or using them as spacers. And the Duracoat galvanized means that they have a finish on them so that they don't darken and tarnish, that the gold doesn't rub off. They really last for a long time. So it gives a lot of quality to your work. So I may be using those. I also pulled some other seed beads from my stash. These are the Perma Finish galvanized, and this is called Golden Fleece. So I do have a few different golds going on. I've pulled these things from my stash. I just love these Czech glass elongated bicones. I was recently on a bead trip with friends, and I found this little gold-plated Colosseum. I'm an Italian girl, and I've spent some time in Rome, so when I found that, I just had to have it. And I have a little flower toggle clasp out here that's gold-plated, and some other Czech glass beads from my stash. And these things may or may not make their way in, but I do like to pull things that I can design with when I get going on my bracelet. So the first thing that I am going to do is just start right in the middle with what is going to be the very middle of my bracelet, and that is these beads here. So let me get both of my strands going through, and I'll get a clamp and clamp off after I get a little bit of direction So that's going to be my middle bead, and then I just need to decide. I love the negative space, so I just need to decide what is going to happen as far as my seed beads. And I think the best thing to do is dump out both of my possible choices, and for me this is the most enjoyable part of jewelry making. I have my basic design in mind and I've made my basic choices, but now it's just pattern play, just looking at my options, and there's a little bit of on and off for me at this point. So I tend to like to really take my time with that, so I may pause the camera and come up with exactly what I'm going to do and then come back and show you what that is, because for me this part is just so relaxing and so wonderful. So what I do think though is that I'm going to pop a little bit of gold in between each of my 2 hole beads, and let me put a couple on and then I'll show you. So I am just playing here with the possibilities. I'm thrilled with this, and I was just checking to see my Czech glass beads that I have from my stash have a large enough hole to accommodate both strands, and so do these elongated bicones. And don't these just look so like old world? I just love the way the gold wash is kind of crackled on there. So I'm gonna kind of try a couple of things before I settle on exactly what I'm going to do, and if I'm going to stay with all one seed bead or go down to the small ones. I like having the small ones out because sometimes they make things fit. They close up gaps a little bit better than the larger ones. So I'm just going to try a couple of options here. Okay, I really like seeing the 2 elongated bicones. I like that they spin. I love the negative space. I'm kind of happy with this pattern, so I think I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side and see how my length is. And to see what I mean about having the smaller size to go down to the 11/0s, it makes my 2 wires feed into a single bead a lot more easily. So I love having the different sizes of seed beads here to work with. And let's see, I'm lost in my pattern a little bit. Take these off and go to the larger seed bead on this end. Need that. Okay, let's see how I did with my length. I could measure, but my arm is right here. Oh wow, that is going to be perfect once my crimping and my clasp is on. And I still have 2 of these left for a pair of earrings. How exciting is that? So let's see, I have beads, perfect amount left for earrings, plenty of seed beads left. Oh, that makes me so happy. Look at that, you guys. Okay, we are ready to crimp. So I'm just going to take one of my number 2 crimp tubes and feed both wires through. On the first end, it doesn't matter so much, anything really, because just get it crimped. When we push everything down, then we'll make sure that we have our tension right. So I'm going to leave one wire hanging out, and I'm going to feed the other wire back down through. And for leverage, you can go ahead, since I know exactly what I'm doing here, I can go ahead and put my toggle on one end just to give me something to hold on to. Put it on and make that loop again. Now I'll make the loop and just go back down through that. And I know it won't go through the seed beads, but, and I'm not sure. Oh, good. Look, three strands do fit through that Czech glass bead. That's always nice. It's really nice to feed your wire back down through at least one bead, and then when you're done crimping, you trim away down away from your clasp, and it's a lot less noticeable. And I want this, I don't want it to be rigid, this loop here, but I want this to move freely, but I do want it to be pretty small and unobtrusive. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a tug. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to use my magical crimping plier. I really like it because I don't have to put a crimp cover on, and you know, it looks like a little tiny gold bead. Get it in the center of that single divot, pinch the four corners, get my clasp and everything out of my way, and go in the opposite direction. Just make sure that you're right in the center before you clasp down so that you don't mangle that little crimp tube. I got it that time. I could feel that it slipped in the center, and then I'm just going to open and close and go around and around, and I have this perfect little bead, and now I can trim away these excess wires. Okay, and now come to this end and do the same thing, but this time I want to just make sure that everything is on my bracelet the way that I want and not too rigid. Double check my counts here, 3 and 3. Just make sure that everything is laying nice. When you have really long beads like this, or when you have a brick-shaped bead, the seed beads in between really helps, but you sometimes have to give it a little bit more space when you crimp, just so that you don't have a rigid bracelet. So I'm going to come right here and feed both wires through this number 2 crimp tube and go down to my bead, and then put the other half of my toggle on one wire, make a loop, and go back through everything just like we did on the other side. So nice that this Czech glass bead has a little bit larger hole, because I can see that my third wire is coming right through there nicely. And I'll just pull everything, and I'm going to make sure I pull this one into position too before I crimp, and kind of match up this loop on this side to the other end. And like I say, that little wire is kind of just hanging out there. Just lay it flat and make sure before I crimp that everything is perfect. Okay, same thing on this side. Perfect. Okay, you can trim away, and sometimes at this point, especially when I'm working with 2 whole beads, sometimes at this point I will realize that I need to add an extra jump ring to the T-bar end of a clasp, just so that I don't struggle taking my bracelet on and off. I'm going to try this one, and you know, it's easy fix. I always just start with one, but then if I need another one, I actually have it right there in case I just don't want to struggle putting it on and off. Oh my goodness, you guys, look how beautiful this is. Not too bad to clasp, not bad at all. I may just want to add one jump ring to this. Just I think I might just want to add just one jump ring to it, but I am also going to, I'll add a jump ring on the T-bar clasp because it just makes this a little bit fluid, but I'm going to add this little little Colosseum charm to this end with one of my handmade jump rings that I do out of the same 20 gauge wire that I use for most things, and it has an anti-tarnish coating on it. So if you are new to my channel, you might not have seen this before, but a lot of times when we add a charm, it's, you know, our intuition is to put this charm jump ring through a loop on the piece, but wherever possible, I put my jump ring around the circumference of my piece so that my charm never gets stuck. When you do that, no matter which way you put your bracelet on, this one wants to jump off of there. No matter which way you put your bracelet on, when you do that, your charms will go 360 degrees. I can show you even, I do it on pretty much everything that I can. So even like on this bracelet, my jump ring goes all the way around. So no matter which way my bracelet spins and no matter which way I pick it up to clasp it, my charm just goes around and around like that. Now my little Colosseum charm is not two-sided. It's actually dimensional, like curved like the actual Colosseum. So I may fiddle with that anyway, but that is just, I just love this bracelet, and I'm so excited that I had 2 of these long Czech glass bicones to make earrings out of. So let me grab some head pins real quick and design a quick pair of earrings to go with my bracelet, and I will add another jump ring to the end here. Okay, I am just cleaning up a little bit because I decided what to do. So let me show you what the final earring looks like. I love elongated stick earrings. They're not too big, but they're just perfect. And I already have my bracelet on. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so sweet. It's got that little Italian flavor. I just love it. So I am taking a 2.5 inch ball head pin that is solid brass, and it's e-coated for anti-tarnish. Although I don't have metal allergies, so I can do this, and I am doing an earring and ear wire all in one just on a ball head pin. I've done this before on my channel because it's one of my favorite ways to make earrings, and I find that if I sit and make earrings, if I want to make earrings, I can do them really fast. If you have like teacher gifts to do, or if you have a large family, if you have a family reunion, you want to do something for the women in your family, you can sit and do these so quickly. Let me just show you before I do that. I was making earrings at 5 o'clock this morning. These are actually for a friend of mine. I do some of them where they're going to go on interchangeable ear wires, but I did this little pair for myself, and this little pair will go on interchangeable ear wires. But these ones that you can do, look at this pair. I just did a little kind of a contemporary wire wrapping on that pair. But these are so easy to do, and you'll get a rhythm very quickly, and it's really just the fun of stacking beads. So I started with one of my Czech glass rondelle beads that's faceted, one of the same seed beads that I'm using in this bracelet, my elongated bicone, another one of the little small rondelles that I used in my bracelet, and then just top it off with a seed bead. So my little bead stack looks like that, and you guys, these sit in your piercings so beautifully. So what you want to do is grab your head pin, leaving a tiny bit of space just above the top bead, whatever it is, and you're going to bend this toward you. And I normally say like a 45-degree bend, but the purpose of this is enough of a bend so that whatever bead you have on the top stays put. It's not going to come off. And then I love this bail making plier, but you could do this with just about anything. I just happen to love this bail making plier, and I love this smaller mandrel on this plier. So I'm going to put this wire, this head pin, essentially in the plier so that it looks like that. My beads are up against the barrel that I'm not going to wrap on. And then I'm just going to take this and bend it over the top barrel, just holding on to it, and you can bend it as far as you want because you can make adjustments at the end, but essentially you're done. Your earring is done. And then I take a flat nose plier because it is the perfect size without measuring anything to put that little kick that makes it an ear wire. And this is basically done. And from here you can take, like, if you need to adjust, you can work harden. If you need to make an adjustment, you know, with a little bit of a bend, you can. But these sit in your piercing so beautifully. And then my head pins are solid brass. Sorry, pardon me for reaching behind me, but I have this little, it is actually a bead reamer with attachments that go here, and the attachment that I have on the end is a little cup. It takes burrs off. So if you do have a head pin that feels a little bit sharp, you just fit your wire in the end and just make it so that it's smooth. These are really high quality head pins, and so I don't really need to do it, but you know, and I'm keeping these for myself to go with my bracelet. So that little set of earrings is really done, and it is a 2.5-inch head pin, but you can use a shorter head pin if you don't have as long of a bead stack as I do. And I just absolutely love making earrings this way. They are, to me, they are so elegant and so beautiful and so fun. And for me, they're reminiscent of one of my first pairs of earrings when I was a little girl. A jeweler had done them on 14 karat gold ball head pins with a freshwater pearl, and it was a gift to me from somebody really dear who is no longer with me. And they were stolen when my house was burglarized, and I got to thinking about those earrings now that I'm not a little girl and I make jewelry, and I thought, you know, that's going to be my signature design, and it really has turned out to be. And I just wanted to say, you know, it's amazing. I added a 4mm jump ring to the T-bar side of my clasp, and it is absolutely amazing what 4mm can do as far as making, like, you know, space and making things, whoops, wrong side, making things easy to take on and off. So this beautiful little Czech glass bracelet, oh, I got a few beads that escaped. This beautiful little Czech glass bracelet with my sweet little Italian Colosseum charm is done. And I just love that I got a pair of earrings. I wasn't planning to have a set today because I really thought I would be using all my beads in my bracelet, but I did get this beautiful little set. And so if you can ever get your hands on one of Stella's Deluxe Czech bundles, you will love it. And as I said, all the 2-hole beads came from that bundle, and the seed beads came from Didi Beads, but I did add in a few things from my stash that I was kind of saving out for a personal project that, you know, I was going to keep, and that these were the other things in this bundle, and it's just amazing. And at the time of this filming, I just checked, the bundle is still available, quite a bit of them. By the time this goes up on YouTube, it may not, but if you can get your hands on this one, it's a really good one. If for nothing else, these gorgeous Czech glass 2-hole flower brick beads in the world's most perfect pink, I just absolutely love them. So I will put links in the description box under this video of all the things that I used, my tools, everything that I know where I got it. And off camera, I am going to take my Permalac anti-tarnish coating and brush it on my Colosseum, and even my clasp is gold plated. I will still brush it on that. Everything else is gold filled, or, you know, won't tarnish. But I'll link my Permalac coating too, because when I make a piece that I love, that I know I'm going to wear a lot, I take a minute to do that. And if you are new to Didi Beads, I do have a discount code that will be in the description box as well. It works on 80-85% of her website. Some things are already such a good value, like the Deluxe Czech bundle, that a discount code is not applicable, but it's still there, and so you can shop the website. And so I just want to say I hope everybody's having a great autumn, and you're all safe and well and having fun on your beading mats, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, creative friends.